Hello YouTube, this is Captain Omni, and I'm coming at you with a segment that I like to call Characters in Need of Spotlight. I talked a bit about this in my live stream, but anyway, basically the idea is, behind this segment is, there are characters in Marvel, DC, numerous other comic companies that really, for whatever reason, don't have the kind of a level of popularity or series that some of the bigger names have, that are kind of like obscure, even among obscure characters. So the idea here is, with this series, is to kind of take a look at some of those characters that are either obscure, or even if they're not obscure, really don't really get the kind of attention that they deserve as characters. And as you can tell by the title, this is going to be covering Captain Comet. Now, Captain Comet is very interesting. Captain Comet was created in 1951 and first appeared in Strange Adventures number 9. He was created by Julius Schwartz, John Broome, and Carmine Infantino. So yeah, basically, some of the bigger, biggest names in DC at the time, in the early Silver Age, and most of the Golden Age. Now, the thing that's interesting about Captain Comet is he was actually created in 1951. That was kind of like almost a dead zone when it came to superhero creation. Because superheroes were kind of not that popular at the time. They were like, the only mainstays were Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. That was pretty much it, but yeah, it's technically called not really part of the Silver Age, Golden Age. He's not really part of the Silver Age. He's what's kind of known as the Atomic Age of comics, which was basically like, okay, there's super science and all this kind of stuff where atomic energy kind of came into play. And an interesting thing about him is he's technically, along with the first mutant in comics, or metahuman as DC prefers to use the term. Now, somebody say, well, Namor's a mutant. He came way before Captain Comet did, because. But the thing is, with Namor, he was kind of retconned into being a mutant. I'm not saying it doesn't count, but Captain Comet was the first. Captain Comet was the first character that was like, oh no, he was a mutant. This is he was born with these powers. So yeah. Anyway, now that's kind of like a little background on him, and his actual origin is that he was born in 1931 to John and Martha Blake. He is Adam Blake, and his metagene was activated when a comet was passing overhead, which ended up granting him powers and abilities that mankind could have a few 100,000 years in the future, meaning that he's kind of what humanity could potentially attain, because all of his powers are mostly based in what humans can do. He has photographic memory, he's super strong, he's super fast, he's got telekinesis, he's got telepathy. A lot of his powers are super speed. He's very much like Superman, but the only difference is whereas he's strong, but he's also got a good strong focus on mental abilities. And he's and basically Captain Comet is essentially, he's more or less what happens if you take Superman and put him in kind of this cosmic adventurer setup, because Captain Comet, he would he's very much like Superman in the sense that he's essentially one of the strongest beings in the universe technically. And he eventually starts feeling that he's out of place in Earth, because his abilities, there's no one else on Earth with his abilities, and he feels like an alien even on Earth or surrounded by humans, because he's, there aren't any anyone else like him. Basically what happens is he ends up meeting a scientist by the name of Professor Emery Zacro, who intends to send him to into space to help colonize find a planet and help colonize it. And he agreed to do this. But first he was basically how he met Professor Zacro was, he stopped criminals trying to steal a scientific device built by Zacro, and he would basically become a superhero on a full-time basis. After that, when he fought a giant robot that belongs to an alien race, and and he ends up, and Zacro ended up building him a spaceship by the name of the Cometeer. So basically, what would follow is he would spend the next few years stopping alien invasions and exploring space and that kind of thing. It's very pulpy space space adventure stuff. Kind of like Buck Rogers, that kind of thing. Except with superpowers. One of his weirder things he's fought is he's fought Greek gods that are from space, and it's and of course he fought a evil superpowered gorilla a couple times. But but eventually he kind of he's cropped up here or there during the 70s and 80s. He popped up during Legion and Rebels in the 90s. And he was a big player in 52, he's also shown up in comics like Kingdom Come as a background character. He showed up in a pretty much a cameo in the Golden Age, the 1991 story, Elseworld story by James Robinson. And he's shown up here and there a bit, and it's really a shame too, because I just think he's a fascinating character. He's essentially the Superman of space. He's where Superman pretty much defends Earth and everything, Earth full time. Captain Comet pretty much just defends space. He explores space. He's more comfortable in outer space defending the spaceways than he is on Earth usually, which I just find interesting too, because again he's essentially kind of a take on Superman, and at the same time he was kind of going exploring these ideas of alienation and everything because of your powers well before anyone ever thought to do that with Superman. He's pals around sometimes with Adam Strange, that kind of, and so basically this is a character that I think deserves more than what he gets. I would love to see the DC give him a series, even a mini series or something, because I just really think the character has a lot of potential. And of course, that's even the selling point, the first meta-human, and something like that, because for a while, Marvel kind of published a mini series called Namor, the first, Submariner, the first mutant, or something like that. That could be, DC's thing. And yes, he technically showed up in the New 52, a lot younger, and was a villain for some reason. Don't ask why. But yeah, so no, again, you could sum up the New 52 as just that. Don't ask why. But anyway, so anyway, this has been Captain Omni, and tell me, what do you guys think of Captain Comet? Would you like to see him have a series or anything, comment below, let me know. And yeah, this has been Captain Omni signing off.